Hello, thank you students. Today we start the history third lesson, the impact of the British rule in India. It is the first session of the period. Here the impact of the British rule in India. You know, the British, they completely captured India and they also fulfilled their commercial needs in the beginning as a trade company. That time they observed the fractured political condition of India, because at that time there were hundreds of ruling dynasties and there was no unity among these native kingdoms or native rulers or the provinces. They were fighting each other for their benefit. The British thought exploiting the situation and to conquer the whole India, they implemented the divide and rule policy among the Indian rulers and slowly dominated all the rulers and subjugated them. So in that critical condition, when there was a political anarchy, when there was a political fractured situation was there, they exploited the situation and implemented the policies like the divide and rule policies, and they captured the Indian rulers one after another. In order to achieve the complete domination in India, they employed war and negotiation methods cleverly. They also implemented war and negotiation policies. War and negotiation means they fought many wars, and with the agreements, with the treaties, they captured the territories of the Indian rulers. So they followed the policies like the war and negotiation, or the war and the agreements or the treaties, and they followed the policy of divide and rule policies. Like these policies, implementing all these policies, they dominated whole India. After getting India under their control, by employing the policies, various policies, the British thought of strengthening their hold over India permanently. India was divided the one nation concept. They divided the one nation concept and which was scattered into various kingdoms. It was scattered into various kingdoms because there were hundreds of independent kingdoms were there, and there was no unity among these native rulers. Therefore, they divide the concept of one nation, and the British integrated the whole India under the single administrative system and political structure, and they implemented education, judiciary, land taxes, trade and agriculture, and the various areas of activities were regulated under the various laws and administrative system. All these areas were brought under a single rule, the collection of tax, judicial system, education system, trade, agriculture, commerce, all these areas of activities were brought under the single administrative system, and these were regulated by the British. While implementing all these measures, they brought a new structure into India. While implementing all these measures, they never forget their financial interest, because they came for the financial interest only. So they never forget their financial interest. They implemented many developments. They undertake many developments, but they did not forget their financial interest. The British East India Company implemented various administrative experiments in order to achieve the new order in India. They implemented a new administrative and judicial system in India. Here the civil system, they introduced a new civil system in our country. Lord Cornwallis introduced the administration of the civil services. He was the first Governor General who started the administration of civil services. Now company also provided permission for the private workers to trade. They gave permission to the private workers for trading purposes. By using these opportunities, employees made money. They earned huge money and became corrupt. They became the corruptive through illegal means. They became corruptive through illegal means. To control this, in 1773, the government of England implemented the Regulating Act in India. So, to control the activities of the private traders, because the private traders, they began to earn more money by illegal means. They become corrupt. So, to control the private traders, they introduced the Regulating Act in 1773. The main aim of the act was to control the activities of the traders. They implemented this act in 1773, and all the appointments till 1853 were done by the directors. All the appointments in the trade Indian companies, all the appointments in the East India Company till 1853 were done only by the directors of the East India Company. But from 1853 onwards, the appointments for civil services were done through the competitive examination. Till 1853, the appointments were done only by the directors of the East India Company. But from 1853 onwards, the appointments for the civil services were done through the competitive examinations. So, during the rule of Lord Cornwallis, competitive examinations were started in India to appoint the civil servants. It is the civil services, the improvements made in the civil services. Now, the judicial system, a new judicial system started finding roots when the British rule began taking over from the Mughal power. When they came to power, when they took power from the Mughal rule, that time they introduced a new judicial system in India. During that time, dual government policy gave Indian officials the authority to collect land taxes, look after the civil administration and judiciary. According to the dual government system, the Indian officers, the Indians were given authority to collect the land taxes and look after the civil services and look after the judicial system. But afterwards, the British thought of bringing more centralized judicial system. They thought that to bring more centralized judicial system in India, this was attained by implementing new judicial system in India. There are two types of courts in a district. There were two types of courts in each district, Diwani Adalat and the Faujdari Adalat. Such type of two courts were started in each district. Here Diwani Adalat, which is called as a civil court, and Faujdari Adalat, that is the criminal courts, were established in every district. It is a new judicial system introduced by the British. In the civil courts, Hindus dispensed justice as per the Hindu scriptures. The Hindu judges in the civil courts, the Hindus were dispensed the cases according to the scriptures, according to the Hindu scriptures, and the Muslims as per the Shariat, the Muslims dispensed the justice, and Hindus, as per the Hindu scriptures, they dispensed the justice. Slowly, the British legal procedure were introduced in the criminal courts. Civil courts come under the administration of European officers. All the civil courts were under the complete control of the British officers, though the criminal courts were under the control of the Qazis. Criminal courts, that is the Faujdari courts, were under the control of the Qazis, were functioning under the supervision of the European officers. The criminal courts, though they were under the control of the Qazis, but they were supervised, they were looked after by the European officers. So the judicial system, it was maintained, it was controlled by the Indians, but they were all under the control of the European judges and European officers. Now the military system, now the police system, the police maintained internal law and order in the country. Lord Cornwallis implemented an efficient police system in India for the first time. Lord Cornwallis, he was the person who implemented police system in India for the first time, because the police maintain internal law and order condition. He created the new post of Superintendent of Police. He was the person who created a new post called the Superintendent of Police for the first time, and he divided the district into many stations and put every station under the Kotwal. Here every district was divided into many stations, and each station was under the control of the Kotwal, and every village came under the care of Chowkidars. Kotwal was responsible for the thefts, and he was responsible and he was accountable for thefts, crimes and other law violations at the village level. Means he maintained Kotwal, he was accountable for all the thefts, dacoities, crimes and other law violence at the village level. And the system of appointing British magistrate started in 1781. The police officers were under the power of the magistrates. The police officers, they were under the control of the magistrate. Indians were not appointed for the post of officers. During that time, the Indians, they were not appointed for the post of the officers. Only the Europeans were appointed to the higher positions, and Indians were only to the lower positions like clerk and D grade posts were given, and higher posts were given to the Europeans. In 1902, Police Commission law allowed the appointment of suitably educated for the post of police officer. In 1902, the police law, the commission of police commission law, which facilitated the appointment of educated person or suitably qualified person for the post of the police officer. And up to 1902, only the Europeans were appointed for the higher positions. Now the reformation made by the British in the field of military. Here the military was the base of administration during the British rule. It was the base because with the help of the military, with the help of the strong and well-equipped army, they conquered the whole India. So it was the base of administration during the British rule. The British appointed Indians for the military and took entire India under their control with the help of the military. Only with the help of the military they took entire India under their control, because the British appointed Indians for the military, they appointed Indians for the military and they took entire India under their control with the help of the Indians, with the help of the Indian army, Indian soldiers. They took entire India under their control. They protected their supremacy by adding the challenges posed by outsiders, insiders with the help of the military. Here they protected their supremacy. How they protected their supremacy? With the help of the army, with the help of the Indians only. They protected their internal as well as external supremacy, posing by the outsiders, which pose by the outsiders. Sometimes external aggression, they faced both external and internal aggressions, but these aggressions were checked with the help of the Indian soldiers. The officers were again the British, but here also the military officers were the Britishers. High rank in the military were given only for Europeans. The Indian could reach the rank of Subedars. Indians, after the soldiers, they can reach the grade up to the Subedar, not more than that grade. So up to Subedar, they can be promoted with the help. The highest post available to them, it was the highest post for the Indians. That is, the Subedar was the highest post available to the Indians, and most of the Indians were coolie soldiers. All the soldiers were the coolie soldiers. The British government accepted the recommendations of Peel in 1857. They accepted the recommendations of the Peel in 1857, and based on these recommendations, the military system was redesigned. On the basis of the recommendations of the Peel, the military system was redesigned, and from that onwards, the Indians were appointed to the highest positions, and they were given the promotions. Like this, they brought a number of they brought civil service, they brought many reforms, that administrative reforms and the judicial reforms, and they also improved the police department and also the military departments. These were the reforms made by the Britishers.